Kia ora, a very warm welcome into another week of the form. We preview the best races coming up over the weekend with our expert panel. And back again this week is Leith Innes, Brendan Popawell and Bevan Sweeney. Good morning to the team. And we've got a massive weekend coming up once again to enjoy. Te Rapa, they've got a wonderful card, and Awapuni as well with a feature. So here's what's on the agenda. Our feature preview. We'll start with the Group 2 Isuzu Stakes, the Racetrackers, our horses and greyhounds that have caught the eye. The Awapuni features, headed by the Eulogy Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies. Our Te Rapa features as well, the Group 3 Waikato Cup and the Group 3 J Swap Sprint. And our best bets, as per usual, to round out the show. Time for our feature preview. It is the Group 2 Isuzu Stakes out of Te Rapa. Race number 6 on the program, and Brendan Popawell will go to you. Currently, the track is rated a good. Are you predicting it to stay that way?
Yeah, there's some showers in the forecast, and it's been a very warm week despite there being some rain in about the region. So, yeah, look, you'd imagine it's one of our best drying tracks and drainage tracks in the country. So even if there is some rain about, you would imagine it's still going to keep around that good 3 to good 4 bracket. So, yeah, work on the right sort of form lines for horses that are looking for better tracks on Saturday.
Well, let's have a look at the market for you. It is headed by Cinerama for Ellen Sharrock. She's currently sitting at $2 now, so backed in from the 2.10 opening quote. Express Princess, a little bit of speaking around her too, 8s into 7.5, and Providence Provides, the other moving in the market, $8.50, now shopping at $8. Leith, the all-important speed map. Who do you see setting the tempo out in front?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of speed. Express Princess from the gate 3 should be leading. I had Providence Provides just sitting just outside her. So, you know, Cinerama's drawn barrier 2. I'm sure they'll be positive from that gate.
Well, Bevan, Cinerama, she is from your area and she was gallant last time in the Eagle Technology Stakes. Behind now, the Group 1 winner in Pres de Fur.
Yeah, let me take this one, boys, and see if you can find one to beat here. I think the vision will tell you the story around Cinerama at that $2 quote. We know what Pres de Fur did on Saturday out of Trentham, and I think all things being equal, if Cinerama had got clear a little bit earlier in the run home, then I think she probably would have beaten Pres de Fur on this particular occasion. Look, he's coming down the outside. She's just trying to find a run towards the inside. And I think the most notable thing about this is her work past the line. Pres de Fur, he's quickened well here, but look, he's got a length and a half on her at about the 100-metre mark, and at the line it's an ever-decreasing margin, and past the line she has gone past him. So she's clearly going very well. We've seen her a spectacular turn of foot when she's right. I agree with Leith. If they are positive from the gate, she'll find the right position, and hey, $2 okay. Maybe they boost it. That might be even better, their pip, but I think she's the winner, all things being equal. And
what about you, Brendan? Do you agree there with Bevan?
Yeah, look, she picks herself, doesn't she? I mean, that was a terrific run. What I will say about that race, it's amazing where she ended up in the marketplace. There was probably not that expectation because she was a $4.50, $5 prospect on opening on those markets. She got out to $11 in the end on the tote, and she's run a race like that. So maybe the expectation wasn't there to be able to win the race. She's gone awfully close. Next hop, she wins that particular race there and beats a horse who's then gone on to win a Group 1 the week following in the Captain Cook Stakes. Everything about her, she's a 3-time stakes winner over 1,600 metres. She's a Group 1 placed horse in behind Melody Bell over 1,600 metres in the Thorndon Mile. Yeah, Leith, you speak about the map. There doesn't look to be a lot of speed in the race, and as long as you can just take a position in that right half and be not too far away from those tempo runners, really this is a race where she does pick herself.
Yeah, exactly. She looks an easy target for her. Look, she's an 8-year-old mare, but she's in foal now, and look, the way she hit the line, even if she's 3 pairs back, she's going to take, you know, be a pretty hard of it roll.
Well, another runner in the race is Express Princess for Andrew Forsman. We'll take you back to Pukekohe, where she had her last start in the game, Brendan. This was a nice run on a heavy 8 surface.
It was a really good run. This horse was on the quick backup from the win the week prior when winning out of Tauranga. Now, the horse has shown some good form in the last couple of starts, and this is a good race to be able to take in because you've got the chance of lining up even a horse like Silverina, who runs well on this particular occasion. And as we know, Leith, the Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders is a race that can stand up. And if she uses her barrier draw, which she should do from barrier number 3, Providence Provides sits outside her, she gets a big opportunity to run in the money in a Group 2 race.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Look, she looks like the natural leader, and if she gets a pretty soft lead in front, she's going to be right there at the finish. And the way Andrew Forsman's going as well, she's got to be a top 3 chance.
Well, we saw Providence Provides there and behind, but let's take you back to Riccarton, where she was on a good surface, and again, Brendan didn't get a lot of luck in this run either.
Look, she didn't, and we know that she's a quality horse, as Providence Provides. This was a race where she was beaten in last year as well, and look, it just doesn't seem to be the race that's for her, and Providence Provides. So she went into this race with very good form. She was slow away. Things didn't happen at the start here, Leith, where she sort of just knuckled and slipped a touch, didn't she, at the start? And she's done all her best work at the end. Look, she's a winner of 3 from 15. She has the barrier speed to position up, and a little bit like Express Princess, puts herself in the race to give herself that opportunity of running a big race.
Yeah, she just had no chance out of the gates. She landed on her head, and Vinny was lucky to stay on. If she jumped out and she was just behind the leader, she might have tested the winner that day as well.
Well, it's time to have a look at some key chances, trainers, and what they had to say. And first up is Andrew Forsman.
She's done really well. She was pretty game, obviously, the other day. I thought she was flat at the top of the straight and then picked up and was strong through the line.
It's really good. I'm tickled pink with how she's come through the Counties Cup run. Yeah, the rain probably turned us a little bit, and she got stopped on the corner. And I think I've now resigned to the fact she's not going to stay.
She worked really well this morning. Pretty fit mare actually. She didn't blow much after her work, so she's going to get one of these races one day. She just needs to stay on her feet or get some luck. So she was desperately unlucky down south, obviously slipping badly out of the gates, and I think she's due a winning turn in a nice stakes race.
Time for selections now, and Bevan Sweeney will head to you. How are you playing this race?
Going to keep it very, very simple. Pip, I think the $2 is okay. Watch the podcast tomorrow with the boys, see if you get a boost out of Cinerama. I think she's the winner.
Yep, highest rated horse in the field, weight for age. She's really well situated, isn't she, under that scale? She looks to be the winner, and she's a horse that should improve second up off the back of what she did last time to the races. If you're looking for something else in the race, maybe look towards as Bevan said, the boost around Cinerama, because she could get in the red at $1.80 potentially, or look for some power plays with those horses that could be in front of her, like horses like Express Princess and Providence Provides, with Cinerama to win. Might be a way of trying to leverage off her to try and get a little bit more than that $2 price.
Yeah, I think Cinerama from barrier 2. Craig will be pretty positive, put her in the right spot. If you're looking for a little bit of value, maybe Quinella with Providence Provides.
And that race is race number 6 on the program out of Te Rapa, the Group 2 Isuzu Stakes. Catch it on TAB Trackside 1. That time on the form, Racetrackers, horses or greyhounds that have caught the eye. And as per usual, we'll start with you, Leith. Who have you found for us this week?
Yeah, I'm going last Saturday at Wellington, Astron. He was in a rating 65 race, and look, he was drawn the outside gate. The winner had all favours on the inside, and look, he hit the line really well. I think he's a progressive horse. He can follow next up.
Yeah, and probably a good race to follow too, because the winner was good as well, wasn't it, Leith? And yeah, this runner just having to do a little bit extra work from a bad gate, and yeah, Cody Cole likes it, and the stable's in form too of Cody Cole. So that's Astron. My racetracker, I'm going to go back to last Saturday out of Counties. I really did like Cascatella. Now, this horse was awfully slow away here, as you can see, beaten probably about 3 or 4 lengths out of the barriers behind the second to last horse, and then builds some momentum out wide and ends up finishing into 3rd position, does Cascatella. Now, she is a 6-year-old mare by Niagara, who's had just the 3 race day starts, was able to win on a heavy 10 2 starts ago, and was actually enormous in doing so for Tegan Abel, and then produced this effort last week in behind Elysian Fields and Nest Egg. Went round at crazy odds. May not get a big price if it gets away with them next time to the races.
And I'm taking you to yesterday, actually, at Hastings and Piper's Fling. You see it there with the yellow cap out wide. Had been taken back from a wide draw. The Te Akau horse to the inside does win this particular race. It was a nice effort as well, but she quickened pretty well, Piper's Fling, and she's going to go down a short margin after standing a really big gap at the top of the straight. And we've got no doubt this horse will be winning at short notice, Pip.
And I'm going to Hastings yesterday as well with Sky Dancer for Stephen Marsh. You can see the 3-year-old filly by Rip Van Winkle out wide. She had a wide gate, had to go back from it, but makes up a stack of ground up the home straight. She's going to a mile race at the end of the month, and she is Oaks nominated. Caught up with Stephen Marsh on Wednesday, and he thinks a little bit of this filly, so I think she'll be winning at short notice. Just really like the ground she made up late in the piece behind a couple of nice enough types in a midweek race. So let's have a look at the summary for you. Our Racetrackers: Leith's with Astron, Brendan's with Cascatella, Bevan with Piper's Fling, and I'm with Sky Dancer. Note them down, and hopefully we've found you a winner. Time to have a look at our pony, where the feature is the 3-year-old filly's Eulogy Stakes, and we'll have a look at the track and weather conditions with you, Bevan Sweeney. What are we predicting on Saturday?
Well, at the present moment, Pip, it's a soft 5, which is crazy in itself because it's a very, very good track condition, the old dead 5. So it's in a good spot now. They put 10 mils of irrigation overnight onto the track just to take the sting out of it. Now, we are forecast to get rain Saturday. And it's supposed to turn to some quite consistent rain in the afternoon. So it's going to be a watch on the day. But at the present moment, I think when we turn up race day Saturday morning, we're going to be racing on a very, very good track condition for what we've seen in recent times.
Oh, that's fantastic. So let's have a look at the market for you. It is race number 8 on the program, set to go at 4:34, headed by Soph Mays at $5, Penny Wecker at 9, Sadaka at 9. So it just goes to show how open this market is, with a horse like Tavachi Princess shopping at around $7 and Family Ties at $8.50. You can see Labrasi at $6, current second favourite. Leith, map, where do you see the favourite Soph Mays mapping from barrier 10?
Yeah, she's a natural sort of back marker. Yeah, it's one of those races, it's pretty hard to map. Family Ties was ridden back off the speed last start. She's drawn barrier 1, so they might be a little bit positive. And Tavachi Princess will probably go a bit forward as well.
Well, let's have a look at our first runner we want to highlight, Bevan. It is Soph Mays, the current favourite. What did you make of this run last start?
Okay, would be my synopsis. Out wide is Labrasi, who'll run third, who had been 3 wide without cover and over racing, and actually went with Tazia for 150 metres. He watched them go together, really put in an effort there, Labrasi, and Soph Mays just couldn't quicken on the better track conditions. So I suppose my synopsis of this, if we get the rain mid-afternoon there at Awapuni, expecting her to be right in the mix, but Leith, I don't know how you sort of synopsise what she's been doing, but I thought she's been a little bit plain the last couple, but the Alan Sherrick factor is a big key.
She is. Look, she's going to be better suited if the track gets heavy. That's pretty doubtful. So, look, she was, you know, she might have been just a bit of a fitness run last start as well.
Family Ties is the next one we look at in the Te Akau colours, coming to the outside. Now, the speed was set up nicely by Rockburn, the big horse, down towards the inside. That form's been franked nicely at Hastings yesterday. Took this filly a fair while to wind up, but we are stepping up to the 1600 metres, so that should be a big advantage, Leith, and you've got to like the way she attacked the line. Yeah, she really did attack the line, Bevan. I think it was a pretty strong maiden race as well. Kreis Mussel just ran up for second. Look, she's had a trip away, the Hawke's Bay. She gets down to Palmerston North. She's got a good gate, and Te Akau horses are really running on all fives at the moment.
Well, it's time to see what some of the visiting trainers had to say about their key chances, starting with Stephen Marsh.
Yeah, she went really good 2 starts ago. Probably gave poor instructions, just went forward, probably used her a little bit too much early. She's probably a horse better off just ridden off the speed. Lovely filly, and certainly don't drop her on last start.
Yeah, she's bounced out well of her nice win at Hastings. Obviously, it's not ideal going 1300 to a mile with such a big break. She sort of, we penciled in for the Bone Crusher, and then she had sort of blood was a little bit off, but she's really clean-winded. Opie rode her this morning, was really happy with her work. We think she's fit enough to hopefully go a nice race down there.
She seems to have come through that last run well and eaten up and been working nicely, so fingers crossed we can run similar sort of races the last couple of starts.
And the beauty was last time out you were over the 1600 metres, so she's proven over that trip, isn't she?
Yeah, and I think the further she goes, probably the better she'll get.
What about this weekend in the Eulogy? What can we expect of her?
Well, I guess we might be stepping up in grade a little bit after only a maiden win last time, but I'd say a lot of them will be in the same boat, so I think she'll be a runner's chance. As long as she's hitting the line strongly like her last couple of starts, she won't be far away.
She's great, actually. I thought it was a strong win. She's always looked a pretty good filly. She's a nice type of filly, and I thought with the blinkers on, she was really sharp last start.
Time to nail it down to one. Bevan Sweeney, who are you with?
Wow. Outside our videos, and I don't want to steal all Leith's thunder, because we were sitting at Trentham on Saturday and watched a very smart filly go to post, the filly by Tavachi Princess. Now, also in behind the scenes has looked very, very good for Royden Burgesson. There was a couple of hiccups with a couple of unluckies and maybe a disappointing effort before Trentham on Saturday, where the horse was very, very strong through the line. My map says that she gets in the 1-1 with a little bit of speed in front of her, and she was tough to run down a Tearaway leader and Wessex, who's a smart horse, at Trentham on Saturday. If the track conditions are good, I think she's a major player in a very even race. Leith, it's a hard one to work out, the Eulogy this year.
Yeah, it's a really even race, like you said, Bevan. And Tavachi Princess, she really took the eye when she won last week at Wellington. She looks like she's got a little bit of class on her side as well. So I think, you know, up to a mile, I think it's really going to suit her.
Really great race. That's race number 8 on the program. Another nice race is the Open Handicap over the 1400 metres. Race number 5 on the program, the interwin.co.nz, and it is headed by Tightline at 4.5. Joint with Old Town Road, who has been backed in from $5 opening quote, and Tavatac too are kept safe in the market at around $5. We'll highlight Sanibel first, and this was a great run out wide here, Bevan, in the listed live-in stakes.
Yeah, this is a nice black type performance. Hold the Press is dominant at home, so there's a little bit of niggle in mind how this form will really stack up. But Sanibel came off back of midfield position, centre of the track, and did hit the line really nicely. Old Town Road, you see down towards the inside with that high knee action, where the track conditions get to. I'm not sure how that influences that particular horse, but the way Hold the Press beat a couple of talented horses there, I'm just wondering how strong that form will be. We know how good Old Town Road has been throughout this preparation, expecting a really honest effort from that horse with Lisa All-Press aboard. Here's Sergio, the one they punted on this particular day. It was at the end of Cup Carnival, and they tried to have plenty on the boys get paid, and they would have got paid for sure. Just ran him into the deck. This horse has been way too fresh throughout its first couple of runs. I'd like to highlight the run of Colorado Star. He's a bit of an enigmatic horse who sweats up, but I really like what he did late in this particular race behind Sergio, and I think 1400 metres at home is a big, big key to him. I think he's a major player in that particular race, and this is a horse that I think can win. It's nominated for the major sprints this season, the Going by Sufficient. I thought this is brilliant at Trentham on a day where the time they ran was very, very good. Its next race at Counties was in a heavy track condition, and it trailed up on that occasion. Is that so? Look, I think if the track condition is decent at our opinion, this horse is right in the mix. It can run some really good times. It's getting a kilo off. It's back down to the 54 kilos. It's a major player in a race where Sergio Tightline should set this particular tempo up. Old Town Road, the trail. Colorado Star for me, the 1-1. Plenty of winning chances in this race, but Colorado Star, we know his quality. We know what he's done up to the 1600 metres in black type. He's second up where he is a winner, and he's been placed. He's getting 3 kilos off for stable apprentice Faye Lizette down to the 56.5. I'll be going with him. It's $4.50 the field. He's at around about $7 in this particular race. From that draw, he gets the right run. He won't mind if there's any rain around Pip as well, and we know he's very, very talented. So Colorado Star in the open 14 for me Saturday. Nice value play at around $7, and all of the action on Saturday on another big days of racing will start 11 a.m. with the Punters Lounge live on Trackside. Time to have a look at the Te Rapa undercard. It's a massive day, and we do look forward to the Group 3 Waikato Cup on the program. Time to take a look at the market and see who heads the betting as well. And it is headed currently by a runner called Self Obsession, $3.80. Of course, runner-up last start at Counties. Charm Star at $8. Aromatic, who beat Self Obsession last start at $6. And Victor Vegas at 8.5. Leith, the all-important speed map. Who do you see injecting the speed into this race? Looks like there's going to be really good tempo. Rua Rocks runs at really fast sectionals, and so does El Nymphe. And PC Pussycat's been leading at Te Rapa over 2400 lately, but they've been going pretty slow. So it's going to be a steady run 2400 metre race. It's going to be good to see over a cup distance. Well, one of the runners we want to highlight, Brendan, is Aromatic, taking out the Counties. Couple of runners in behind, but was really going to keep on lifting and hold out race rival Self Obsession.
That's right, yeah. And look, this is always an important race, isn't it? The Counties Cup, a lead towards the Waikato Cup, and then obviously carrying on through the summer. The stablemates set down to battle. About here, looked like Self Obsession was trying to hold off the challenge from Aromatic, a horse who loved running second, as we've seen a number of times, but she was able to put her head down and get the prize on this occasion to make it her 4th win in Aromatic. Look, the difference here, and all those first 4 runners across the line compete in Saturday's race, is the track condition. Of course, as we know, Counties Cup Day was a very wet track. It was rated in the heavy bracket. And that's going to be helpful for the horse who ran second in that race in Self Obsession. Self Obsession's come back with really good runs this campaign. The barrier draw, I guess, Leith, is a little bit of a worry for Self Obsession, but we have seen the horse being positive beforehand. What do you see the likelihood of trying to overcome that draw? Do they want to be positive and put the horse into the race in the first part of the race?
Yeah, look, her natural races, she gets handy, she puts herself there on the speed pretty easy. So Michael's got the option of following the Rua Rocks over, getting a spot and then putting her to sleep. We know that she's going to get 2,400 metres.
What about this run here too, Brendan, of Charm Star, last start at Wanganui?
Look, Charm Star is a horse that is probably one of the horses that looks really well positioned under the weight scale. Is a horse we know is getting better with every run. Track conditions going to be ideal for her. She's a good quality stayer. And Leith, it just looks like a horse that presents on the each way as a really good chance where she's hovering around the $8 quote.
Yeah, 53 kilos. Fillies and mares have a really strong record in the Waikato Cup as well. They get in, on the minimum 53, so it's a big help.
Time to have a look at what some key trainers said about their Waikato Cup chances, and first cab off the rank is Stephen Marsh.
Going really well. I thought her run on the Counties Cup was terrific because we got caught out 3 wide, no cover. Boxed on very good for 4th. Warren Kennedy sticking with the ship. He's really impressed with their run. So hoping we're obviously going to get a better track and hoping for a good draw. And yeah, she's a good mare and she'll be right in it.
On to Macedo, who also goes into the same Waikato Cup this weekend. How's he going?
Yeah, going good. He just needs a better track. He's had a couple of real wet tracks of late. Gets on a better track. He does race well at Te Rapa. Sam Weatherly back on. He gets on very well with him. And again, I think he's the big improver. If he can just draw a good gate, get into a nice spot, I think he'll run a hell of a lot better than he's been running. And again, I might have said Pukekohe, I think it's January 1 back at Te Rapa. But yeah, they're both heading for that race.
Yeah, good. They another 2 that had a quiet week after their run. They went to a local water treadmill. And they sort of had a nice piece of work last week and another nice piece again this morning. We'll have a run along on Thursday and hopefully they'll be strip fit enough for Saturday.
She just worked over a mile on polytrack here at Cambridge this morning, and yeah, nice solid work. She's sort of starting to hit peak fitness now.
Okay, for this weekend, is she in the right condition to be competitive?
Yeah, I think she is. Her run actually in the Counties Cup was quite good. Craig just had to go back to the inside on the slower part of the track, and she travelled up sort of like she was going to be a real chance on the corner. So I think if we can get a reasonable surface on Saturday, she should be nearing a peak. And she's a good staying mare that's capable of sort of winning one of these races.
Yeah, that extra 300 metres, is that up her alley?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Obviously, won the Stars Cup last year, and I think a mile and a half is going to be fine.
He worked over a decent amount of ground, just slowly and kept building. I thought his work was really good.
He seems to be really in good form, and we know he's got that staying ability. What can we expect of him this weekend?
Yeah, well, he's won over a mile and a half. He should get in at the bottom of the handicap, and I think that's how you can win those good handicaps often, by being in at the right weight. He's had a good preparation. He won well last start, and if there is a little bit of juice in the track, he can handle it.
Some good information there from some of the key trainers in that race. So it's time for selections. Brendan, who have you put the circle around?
Look, I'm going to continue to be with Self Obsession. The horse was narrowly beaten in the Counties Cup. I just feel as though the horse is on song and the better track conditions are going to be in her favour. I think the biggest danger at the weights and potentially on the each way looks to be Charm Star. But yeah, I'll stay with Self Obsession.
Yeah, BP, I'm going to go Diogenes. He's got 53 kilos. He probably should be getting about 4 kilos in the rating points from Self Obsession. I just think there's a bit of Roger James timing about this race, and we know over 2,400 metres he's going to lap it up.
Well, that race we look forward to, and another Group 3 on the program is the J Swap Sprint Open Handicap here over the 1400 metres, race 4 on the program. And again, we've got an open of Fair Faithful Feet currently shopping at $7.50. You've got a runner here like Vigor Winner at $14. A couple of runners we want to highlight, one of them being Faithful Feet too. But before we do, we'll have a look at the speed. What are you mapping them to lead here? Yeah,
there's plenty of speed in this race, Pip. The gate's right on the outside, the two Faithful Feet. It's got so much speed, especially at Te Rapa. It's going to have to do a ton of work. I can probably see clever runs from the barrier 2 leading, and Faithful Feet sitting outside it, but they'll be going hard.
And Brendan, we saw Faithful Feet do just that last start, going straight to the front and picking up a win here at Te Rapa.
It was a really good win because this horse had to overcome a draw of barrier number 12, and as Leith said, this horse has an outside barrier draw to contend with, and we'll see what happens in terms of scratchings for race day, but either way it's going to be on from an outside draw. I thought the second horse was pretty good in this race too, and that being Dragon Queen. She looks to be building nicely. She has a low draw, and with the prospect of some really hot speed in the race, it's going to come down to those horses that can camp just off the speed potentially, who could get the right run. Gospodin running third. One More Time's another one of those speed influences in the race, who was finishing into fourth position on that occasion. What do you make of that race, Leith, as prospects for Saturday's race?
Yeah, Faithful Feet, she loves Te Rapa, but I'm a little bit like Dragon Queen. It was a tidy enough effort. She gets in with 55 kilos, and look, she's only a 2-1 horse, but I think she's heading in the right direction.
Once again for selection, so Brendan, we'll go to you.
Yeah, look, this is an interesting race, with so many chances in amongst it. And it could be down to those horses, as I said, like Dragon Queen, who can be in the right spot. Look, even Germanicus is not out of this. He's drawn terribly, but he's a horse that might just be the one finishing late. Tavere, I don't want to give up on Tavere because, again, high pressure 1400 metre race could really play into that horse's hands. Overall, I'm going to go with Dragon Queen. Sits nicely at an each way quote with a good draw with Cameron Lammis aboard.
Yeah, she's my pick as well, BP. I just like what I saw at Te Rapa. She looks like she's improving. You know, barrier 3, if they go hard, she might get the last run at them. A little bit wary if Pin Me Up gets a run in the race as well. She's had two quite easier sort of runs back, and she looks like she'll be strip fit for this race.
And that massive day out of Te Rapa, a 9-race program will start. Race number 1, 12:40 p.m, TAB Trackside 1.
Make Believe at the 100 metres is 3 in front of the Carsten pair. Running on is Showbaz. He ran to second, but Make Believe goes all the way. Make Believe won it by 3.
He's through now, Warrior Eastern. He's about to thread the needle, and he's through it a nanosecond. Warrior Eastern takes the lead. Down the outside, 40 wides and Conquer Clear, but the favourite shot through, took the lead and won it. Warrior Eastern to win it.
Yes, bets time, and it wasn't an easy weekend last weekend on the punt for our form tipsters, but hopefully we can change that this weekend. Leith, who have you found?
My pick's pretty easy actually. I'm going race 6, the Isuzu Stakes, Shinorama number 1. I just loved her last run. She was pretty unlucky, as we all saw, and the Alan Sherrick team are just flying at the moment.
Yep, hopefully we get a boost. Hopefully we get a boost around Shinorama for Saturday's race. I'm going for a runner that was desperately unlucky, and it was a death by 1,000 paper cuts. In fact, to be honest with you, if you're on SVR last time out when finishing in third position, he just needs to get that right piece of luck, and Sam Weatherly is aboard.
I'm going to another guy, Larry Runner, and the Stony one. Was held up in traffic at its fresh out run this preparation. It's behind Podium, who came out and was very, very good at Trentham on Saturday. Made some ground late on that particular horse. It may be going to the Thorndon Mole Podium. So I think the Stony one's a pretty smart sort of horse in the right sort of race. Gate's a little bit niggly, but all things being equal, I think the $3 on the Stony one Saturday at Awapuni will be great money.
And I'm heading to Southland on Sunday, a greyhound called Postman Pat in the Far South Challenge Heats. This is him at the Manawatu beating a really nice field here, and he went super, super quick. He went faster than Federal Infrared, taking out the feature on the day. He comes up in his toughest test to date, up against a power superstar, Quintessa Bale, but I think he can beat them. He comes up with the Ace Alley Postman Pat, and I'm hoping he will deliver because he is a real star on the up. So he's race number 9 at Southland for Jack Hart. So let's have a look at a summary of what our best bets are for the weekend. The Wales jumping in with Chimichurri there at Alexandra Park, Aiden with Trebriand at Tarapa on Saturday, Leith with Cinerama, SVR for Brendan, Bevan with the Stony one, Emanon for Justin at Ascot Park on Saturday, and Postman Pat for me. Wrote those down, and hopefully we have a better luck on the punt this weekend. That's all the time we have on the form. Once again, thank you Brendan, Bevan and Leith for joining us. Happy punting this weekend.